Today I have a fun Boho Tree of Life painting. I hope you enjoy. So to begin with, we're going to start with an 8x10 canvas and 3 colors of paint. I have titanium white, I have an antique gold, and I have a pink color. And I'm going for a boho color palette. And you'll see at first I didn't put the white beside my yellow and the pink, which I need to mix in so that I get the color I want. So I come back over and just add that to it. You can use any colors you want, but this is a combination that I'm going to use. I'll show you 3 very quick and easy canvases, backgrounds that you can do for this tree painting using the same colors and color schemes. So at first I'm just very quickly and thickly laying down the colors and where I want them. I picked another paintbrush for my white just because I wanted the center to be a lot lighter. And I'll come back and I'll use that other paintbrush. So I didn't want to completely rinse it out, but I wanted it to sit there in the water. Now I'm using the round paintbrush to blend in my colors. So I'm just trying to get a good blend of those colors together. And now I'm coming back over and doing a figure 8 motion, which is really blending it back in. You don't really want just long straight strokes too much. It's not very pleasing to the eye, but if you move your paintbrush in a figure 8, it gives a much more pleasing look for your brush strokes. So I could leave it like this, but what I want is that light color to extend out a little bit more. So I am bringing back in some more white, and I'm gonna work it back out to the edge just to lighten it up a little bit. Remember, with art, there is nothing that is wrong. Each artist brings their own touch and flavor to their work. So if you like where it is and it looks different than what I'm showing you here, just feel free. So there's the first canvas. Now I will be using the same colors, and I'm just going to pick up my paintbrush that I first used. It's not completely cleaned out, but it does have some of the paint left, and you'll see as it comes back down, just some quick brush strokes again. And this one I'm gonna go from this warm pink down to a orangey yellow, and then down to a lighter yellow. And laying it down very quickly like I did the other one, and just getting the color balance that I'm hoping for there. And now I'm going to use the same brush as I blend it in. And again, I'm doing this figure 8 movement that just gives a really nice look for it. The third canvas is a little bit more simple. I am just going to be using the white and the yellow. Again, I have some of that pink still left on the brush, which is just fine. One thing to remember with acrylics, you want to move fairly quick when you're trying to blend colors in, because you want your paint to still be nice and wet so that you can get that really beautiful blending happening. Just adding in a little bit more white. I love this background because it really is going to provide the perfect backdrop for the tree and allow focus on that subject, because the warm yellow is just going to draw you in towards that tree. I'm just finishing it up with that figure 8 stroke. All right, next I am showing you one of the ways that you can use to transfer a design on the canvas. You can really find any design you want online. I found this tree and I photocopied it on some transfer paper. You can also use graphite paper, and you would just take your image and put the graphite paper in between your image and the canvas. For this paper, which is actually hard to find, but I found this one, you photocopy it on the paper and it acts as graphite paper. So it's a little bit lighter, but it works. Now, I am not tracing all the leaves. I'm just trying to get the general design for the basis for my tree, because we just want bare branches at this point. You can use a pencil, a stylus, a pen. It doesn't really matter, just something that can press down and gives a really good pressure. I lift it up to check it and it looks good, and now I take it off. Always good to keep that tape on there too so it doesn't slip. Now I have decided to do this one for demonstration purposes as a white silhouette, but as you saw in the pictures at the beginning, you can use any color you want. You can use the yellow, the pink, a brown, a black, but I decided to use this white one. When you are doing your brush strokes, if you're new at this, you want to make sure that you're always going with the grain of, with the, like how the direction that the hairs of the brush go. So you never want to kind of scrub or pull back on that. You also, with these trees, branches naturally get thinner as they go out. So you want to pull the paintbrush from the trunk or the base of the branches going outwards, and then just lift it up to get that really beautiful, nice tapering that happens that looks pretty natural. Remember, your drawing is just to give you reference. So if something doesn't look quite right, don't feel shy at all about adding a branch here or there. I like to do at least one nice good coat, and then afterwards I'll go back over and do another coat in case some of that tracing is showing through so that you don't see any of those graphite lines. I'm just going to add a little bit of silhouette of some grass. The best way to do this is just to load your paintbrush and pull from the bottom of the canvas up and let it just taper off really nicely like you did the branches. The next thing I'm going to do is add some fluid white paint to the white paint I already have because I want it a lot more liquidy than it has been. Now, this is the fun part. There's so many different things that you can do here. I'm going to show you this one technique that I used. I used a drill bit just because it was the perfect diameter for my largest circle leaves that I'm going to stamp on. Remember when you're stamping to not do it too regular. Be free with it, stand back, look at it, make sure it has a good balance. This is just the first one that you're going to be putting down. You'll do other sizes. Well, actually, you can do just this if you want. Even just this looks great. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to show you some other sizes afterwards. So they look really nice if you go near the branches and put them around where they branch off. That's what happens in real life. With trees, we see our leaves coming off of the little offshoots of the branches. So that's what I'm trying to do with this. The next size I'm going to use is the end of a pencil. It's just the perfect stamping size. I'm going to go back to where most of those large ones are, and I'm going to just do little small ones here and there around. Next, I am going to use a Q-tip, just another size. Fun thing that you can do with a Q-tip is you can bunch 2, 3, 4, 5 together and stamp them around, which gives a nice organic shape. And I did that for some of my trees. For this one, I'm just using a single Q-tip, but you are free to experiment and try whatever you like. And the last one that I am using is just the end of my paintbrush. These are just tiny little dots, and they're going to come out more. It gives a feeling that there's blossoms there is flying around in the air, and also putting some at the base of the tree. Now, you could completely stop here and be done. In fact, I think it's beautiful, but for demonstration purposes, I am going to add a little bit of this copper, this iridescent copper color. And I am going to use my pencil and just put little bits of it here and there. Once I stood back and looked at it, I decided it needed just a few other big ones, so I got my drill bit and just did a few bigger stamped copper leaves. the last thing that I want to do with this painting is just look at it, go back over, see if there's any little spots you want to add. Don't be afraid to paint out some of the dots, which I do sometimes, or just add a little bit here and there. Just look at it, make sure it has the right balance and the feeling that you want. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It was really fun making it. I created this for a fantastic group of ladies that I was privileged to ask to teach, and I will be putting out more videos, so if you enjoyed it, go ahead and subscribe to my channel.